And our big tractors just... they don't play well with a 6 because their turn radius is a little bit too great to follow with them. Okay, let's go with that. So for World of Warships, I have now managed to unlock the legendary module from the Montana, and I'm on the last of 5 stages for the Des Moines. That's a hard slog, so I've been pretty much playing tier 10 cruiser battles for the last 2 weeks solid. Which does mean my Des Moines now doesn't have a 28% win rate. I'm almost, but not quite, to 50. Should probably play some more of the warships on stream sometime. Problem is getting the time together. I'm playing it sort of a couple of battles before dinner, and then a couple of battles after, and then doing something else that's not gaming. Beep beep. So what, you're all up to tier 9 now? I don't. I have my battleships up to 9. I think I'm still on the tier 8 for cruisers. I've got the Shimakaze at 10, but I haven't. Well, I'm still at tier 6, I think, for the other destroyer line. Oops. Don't press that button. It's engaged. Yeah, I mean, the battle is, if I've got half an hour, I can play a quick battle. In some cases it's very quick, like 5 minutes and I'm dead. But, oh, you're still working with the Yamagi or Nagato? I hated the Yamagi, but that was before they messed with the matchmaker. So I was ending up in games where it was me and the Bismarck on the other team, and everybody else was tier 10. And the Yamagi just doesn't have the range to compete, but it's as loud as anything. So you get spotted when the nearest ship is still 2 kilometers, or the nearest ship you can see is 2 kilometers outside of your spotting distance. And at that point all the tier 10s decide, hey, it's a tier 8 battleship, Pinata. And yeah, very uncomfortable game. At least now, supposedly, the matchmaker is a little bit more friendly in that 40% of your games won't be at tier 10 in a tier 8 battleship. I even ended up with some games where everybody was tier 10 except me and my Yamagi and an enemy tier 9 cruiser. It's sort of, oh well, cheers. That's awesome too. But I got past that one. I haven't played the Izumo much. Is it the Izumo or the Ibuki? I forget. Yeah, the tier 9 battleship's a pain in the butt too, because it's 3 turrets at the front. I mean, the Yamagi is actually a good ship. It's just in a major tier 10 battle, it's completely outclassed. And I haven't had that problem in any of my other tier 8 ships, so I don't know why. And maybe the problem, because with the American ship, you've got 2 turrets at the front, 1 at the back, so it's not a big problem if you don't get the rear turret on targets. But with the Yamagi, because it's got 5 turrets along the length of the ship, you have such underwhelming firepower when you're nose in. Ooh, stop. Okay. Let's swing that right-hand boom around and catch that corner as best we can. I think the other ships I'm working on at the moment are things like the Tier 9 Royal Navy destroyer and light cruisers. It's going to be a while before I get either of those to Tier 10. Although I am being fairly successful in the games I play with both. It's just that I haven't done a lot with them lately. I think I'm 2/3 of the way through on the destroyer. Potentially similar amount on the cruiser. I could probably complete both in a couple of sessions each. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, that's the problem I'm having with what am I stuck on? There we go. Extract ourselves from the fence. Whatever's behind and underneath that hedge. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, the advanced or enhanced driving does not play with GPS. So when I have GPS turned on, it's the regular farm sim forward and backwards controls, but when I have it turned off, it's the enhanced driving controls, which means that I have to select drive forward and backwards. So turn that on, turn that on, turn cruise control on, and off we go. Of course, because this crop is now in its second stage of growth, we have to run with the row crop tyres. Oh, on the adoption front, what's happening now? We did get word this week that we were not selected for the child we'd put in an inquiry for. So that's a shame, but hopefully she'll do well with the other family. And then we have gone back through the website to see if there was anyone else we'd be interested in. I don't know if we put in 2 or 3 inquiries. Okay, what does that look like there? That's still a full... I think that's... we'll reverse all the way back. So I think approaching from this side I can... Woo! Stop, stop, stop. We can sweep into the row. So from there... we'd get better clearance on the right-hand boom at that point. On this end we're going to have to sweep out and set. Okay. Okay, I think we are done with cruise control, so Alt-C to turn it off. One of the more interesting things is about the inquiries we've made. Because we're moving from a 3-bedroomed home to a 4-bedroomed home, and we have no plans for a 4th bedroom. One of the inquiries we've made is with what they call a sibling group, which is 2 kids who are related and who they want adopted together. So we could end up having 2 kids in the house rather than just the one. The thing with the extra bedroom, well, yeah, obviously we need the master, we need one for any children we have in the house, because we're not going for an excessive number of kids. And then we need, or my wife wants one as a sewing room, so she can have a sewing machine and sewing stuff permanently set up. She does most of her stuff, you know, sitting on the sofa watching TV, or not watching TV with the TV on. But she does do patchwork quilts and stuff, which she obviously needs a work area. So that's the plan for the 3rd bedroom. And then there's another one that's sort of, well, okay, fine, what are we going to do about that? And that should be done. Stop. Let's jump out and have a look. So fertilised, mostly 100%. Looks like we've got a couple of gaps around. So yeah, there's a little strip down there, there's a bit there, and I think those are from previous applications. This is now all nice and blue because it's been he's still going. Good. That's the oilseed radish at work. So we need to do this one. I'm guessing we can do that one too. Where's my tractor? There's my tractor. Did I not set that to fold up? Oh. Probably need to back up a little as well. There we go. Well, that's the thing. There are 2 living rooms in the house. So one is going to be the office, and the other one is going to be a living room. And then there's a completely undeveloped basement, which we'll also do stuff with. So Alt-C, yeah. Enable guidance steering. I don't see the dots. Now I see the dots. Okay. That actually looks okay, so I want to shift that. This is in the way. Can I shift that over? Please let me shift that over. That's width increment, that's offset. Oh, I see, offset. So offset 0. How do I shift this way? So it's not possible to move it, because this, where it's placed at the moment, that's going to run me into the hedge. I could, well, no. Okay, let's unfold. Oh, actually, yeah, that's future plans for the basement. Actually, was what we're looking at is basically having a room in the basement, or having room in the basement. And since it's the most convenient access to the backyard, that's going to be, we're going to have a lounge down there. So there will be sort of lounge. Our current kitchen table will go down there as the gaming table. So yeah, it's a thing that we're planning. Okay. Set A. And turn that on and try and drive straight. And then we'll stop. And set B. And that's on. Let's check that that's actually spraying. Yes, it is. So turn on the spray and drive. So yeah, the basement is completely undeveloped. It's not insulated. So part of the initial work that we're having a contractor do is to put up some studs in the basement, insulation, and some initial electrical outlets down there so we can plug stuff in at convenient points. Previous owner didn't do any of that, so they were running everything off of extension cords trailed out across the across the basement. We'd like to avoid that. There's only about 3 power outlets and they're all along the front wall. And things like the hot water heaters on the back wall and stuff like that. Yeah, when we give kids time out, we kind of like to keep an eye on them, because they're usually in time out for a reason, and if you set the young girl we fostered a while ago, when you sent her to time out to her bedroom, she used to go to sleep. Which is sort of, that's not exactly the point of time out, dear. But, we have a patch of no crop there. Oh, yeah, we are going to have to call back at the farm, I think. Because this looks incredibly empty. Okay, turn that off. We'll try and find where we got up to. Or our starting line, I think. Okay, that looks like the bit what we already done. So what I'm going to do is that. Those weeds are looking incredibly healthy. Well, there's always option. I mean, sometimes we do sign, time out, go to your room, because seriously, 2-year-old, you need to take a nap, and the reason why you're messing around and being obnoxious is because you need a nap. So sending them to their room is actually a good plan, because especially if they're of the mindset to oh well, I've got nothing better to do, I'll just go to sleep while I'm waiting for you to get me out of time out. That's you won anyway. That's why you wanted them. That's what you were trying to get them to do anyway. Okay, fold that up, go get some more. There we go. Let's look out the front window rather than the front side window. I'm fairly certain that the Axion has now finished its task for the day. But we are going to have to finish off the edges of that field. Okay. Oops. That looks like it's close enough. Ah, you've got to be kidding me. That's not exactly what I wanted in there. There we go. I could reverse into the lime bay since that's further away from the fertilizer. That's better. Liquid fertilizer, just what the farmer ordered. We're actually going to end up using all of 3 of these tanks, at least parts of them. And that's full. So first step of the process, as we know, we are going to be given redacted reports on each of the children we've requested information on, which basically details why they're in care, why the parental rights were terminated, and issues that the child may have had whilst in care. So observable things. Once we are happy with that, I think there was one child we looked at earlier, which we got the redacted report. Sort of, yeah, okay, seems good. Yeah, we don't have a problem with this at the moment. And they said, well, we have some more information for you then, and we'd also like you to take some classes on basically not quite paramedic training. So sort of this doesn't sound good, and it turned out that the child had suicidal tendencies and tended to use or threatened to use sharp objects in that pursuit, and at that point we kind of said probably not. Okay, I'll turn that off there because I think that caught up most of the bit we'd already done. Now, I can't tell. Let's bring the map up. Oh, I'm not even over there yet. So we've done this row, it's the next row we haven't done. Of course, if I went high in the sky on this, yep. Back up a little. And once again, we'll sweep into this row. But at that point we decided we weren't going to go ahead with that child. The one we did decide to go ahead with, and then basically there were 2 families put in the inquiry, and they decided to go with the other child, the other family. But they also said, you know, because of the child's age, they get to have a say in the matter. So if the child came back and said, you know what, no, not that family, then we're back in the consideration. We'd get a message from our adoption worker who would say, are you still interested? Because it didn't work out. So it's not a definite no, that particular child is definitely not, but there's a high likelihood that she won't be. That yes, and that yes, go. So yeah, so all of the kids that we've put in an inquiry on, we're going to get a report about that tells us why they're there and what's going on with them. Do they have siblings? Do they want to keep in touch with the siblings? 'Cause, some of them have siblings who are out of the foster care system they want to keep in touch with. Others are, I've got an older sibling, and the older sibling is totally crazy and threatens people with sharp objects, and I never want to see that person again. And they tend to respect the child's wishes at that point, or the agency just says, being in touch with your sibling is really not healthy for your continued existence. So I said that a bit wrong, but anyway, it's sort of, we're done with that. But you find out that information later. Some kids have half siblings, and the half his siblings are adopted by family members, whereas this one isn't related to that side of the family, and that side of the family wasn't interested. So there's all sorts of things going on there.